most people, when they leave their jobs, they will just give the very politically correct answer. They just tell the employers that, look, I'm looking for I'm leaving because there's a better offer somewhere, better in terms of salary, better in terms of progression, or even maybe the benefits, right? It's better.
Now, today's question is from our listener who I'll call Simon. Simon wrote to us, I'll read. I am a HR professional and my current workplace is really toxic. During candidates' interviews, I could not help feeling like a fraud, telling candidates that the workplace has a good culture when it's far from the truth. I intend to leave once the right opportunity comes. What could be a good reason to leave without burning bridges? Now, Gerald, I think it's clear that Simon is not able to continue with his lies anymore during these candidate interviews, right? And he's probably in a fix because it sounds like he wants to continue staying in this industry, HR. Possibly, something maybe even in the same sector, something similar. So what do you think? Would you have any advice on how he can, leave without burning bridges?
When I read this question, I thought to myself, like, actually, most people, when they leave their jobs, they will just give the very politically correct answer. They just tell the employers that, look, I'm looking for I'm leaving because there's a better offer somewhere, better in terms of salary, better in terms of progression, or even maybe the benefits, right? It's better. And that's usually okay. So I'm wondering, like, how come Simon would struggle with
Giving the politically correct answer.
Yeah, correct. And I'm not wondering whether is it because, Simon feels like a fraud, telling lies.
Like even that would be a lie for him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to lie anymore.
Yeah, that's right. So I think beyond giving like the answers itself, I think it's important to also address how Simon feels about himself when he doesn't tell the whole picture. I think there's a difference between telling a lie and not telling the full picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Telling the lie and omission of truth.
Yeah, correct. And Simon, being from the industry, being a recruiter himself, I'm sure he has heard like thousands or hundreds of people who apply for jobs, and when he asks them, so what's your last reason for leaving? And then they are also just giving a most politically correct answer or most rehearsed answer.
Yeah.
He probably heard his fair share of good and bad. So maybe Simon could probably listen through some of those answers and kind of figure out, triangulate what would be the most comfortable, right? I think it's important to be comfortable what you're saying as well, and we all have different thresholds of how much we want to really reveal. So I think for Simon's case, to leave the job, to resign from his job. So I think the reasons that Simon could use, which is good by his definition, would need to be something that he's comfortable with. Yeah. What about you? Today, if you, like your friends, when they are thinking of leaving the company, what are some of the reasons that you heard before?
I have actually heard of people who are very honest and who would just say that this doesn't work for me. I have tried, I've been here and it doesn't work for me. Thank you for the opportunities. I don't think you need to go deep into the reasons why this doesn't work for me. You can just say that, like, there are certain things that I would, maybe doesn't quite sit well with me, but I would like to thank you for all the opportunities that you've given me. I would like to try something else. So slip it in, so in that sense, you can walk away feeling that you were being very authentic to yourself. Like I have friends who have done that and they haven't had any sort of like blowback. And then they quickly end off the conversation with saying, wherever I land, would it be okay if I can, have you as a character reference? So it's not pointing out the real reason why you are leaving, but at the same time is trying to say that there are push and pull factors for me. So I think maybe that's something that Simon could consider, depending on the relationship, obviously, that he has with his supervisor.
Yeah. I think if Simon was not comfortable at the start to say why he wants to really leave, in the HR process, in the exit process, there's usually the exit interview.
Yeah.
So during the exit interview, that's where, if you feel that's helpful for the company to know why, and if you want to be you really want to say your piece, right? Maybe that's a good place to say. Although some people I know, they'll say, no lah, the exit interview is just for show
Formality.
You don't really have to say anything. But for some people, they might want to use that opportunity to just really speak their mind. Because between your resignation to your last day, right, there is a period, and you still have to really work and clearly.
Your notice period, correct.
So that's why some people will choose to not say too much. at the start when they resign, and then only on the last day, then they will really say how they really feel.
Yeah. What about your colleagues though? If your colleagues ask you, hey, what's the real reason why you are leaving? But then you have to bear in mind that your colleagues could one day be your boss in another company.
And this is what Simon said, right, in his question. He said that his workplace is really toxic. So if I'm in a workplace that's really toxic, I would not want to tell people the truth.
I see.
Like,
Okay.
because we don't know how they will be using these things. I would
Yes.
try to shy away, try to find present like very surface level reasons, because we really don't feel safe speaking our truth, what's really happening to the people around us. We don't know how they'll use it for their own advantage, maybe.
True. Yeah. So, Simon, I think firstly, you have to ask yourself if you feel safe enough to disclose the real reason why you are leaving. And if you don't, honestly, I think our advice here would be don't burn the bridge. Just give the neutral, diplomatic answer and say goodbye, start a fresh new chapter. Well, if like Simon, you have a work-related question, we would really, really love to hear from you. Send it to us. We are at cnapodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Me Listen, and YouTube.
I'm Gerald.
And I'm Tiffany. Have a good, safe work week ahead.